Hi everyone, it's Leah from Pickle Crafts. So I have decided to try and do a crafting live video. So we're going to see how this goes. I've made this card already in pink, but I've decided that I'm going to make it again in blue. So I figured I would try and make it on here with all of you. So I'm going to use Bermuda Bay cardstock, and I'm using the Zany Zebras set, and everything apart from this cardstock is basically retiring on the 4th of May. So I figured, you know what, I might as well use up some bits while I have them. So I'm going to pull out my trimmer real quick, my trimmer and scoreboard, and I'm going to cut my cardstock down. So it's nice and simple. I'm going to score at 10.5. And I'm going to cut, and these are all in centimeters, at 14.8 centimeters. So that's basically score your cardstock, whether you're using A4 or 8.5 by 11. So you're going to score down the short way in half and then cut halfway the long way, and it gives you 2 card bases. So if you wanted to make it more than once, it's handy. I'm just going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to fold it in half and give it a nice little crease. And I've got my card base nice and done. And then for the DSP, I'm using Artistry Blooms. So it is a fun set, loads of bright colors. It's got plain patterns on the back, and then more fun, vibrant patterns on the front. And so I'm just going to use a sheet of this. I had some leftover bits from a previous project. So I'm just going to cut this up, and this time I'm going to cut it at 10 centimeters, so give yourself half a centimeter. And then the other way, it's going to be at 14 centimeters and 3, so it's half a centimeter off either direction. And then I'm going to move my trimmer out of the way. So now I've got my card base and my DSP layer, and I'm going to go and use some Tombow. I like this because even though it's a wet glue, it doesn't really curl, and it gives you a little moment to give it a little bit of a wiggle if you don't line it up properly. Alright, and then I'm just going to put this on here, give myself a little bit of a border. Hi Allison, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. It's a bit gloomy out here, so I decided I'd craft. Right, so there's my base. And then the next bit is I'm going to do some stamping. So I already have some white cardstock here, and I'm going to use the 3 zebras from the set. So where have I put the box? These are the zebras. They've got cute little faces. And you know what? I loved this set when it first came out, and for some unknown reason I bought it and then I put it away and never used it. So I've decided now that I need to make use of it. So I've taken the 3 zebras and I put them on blocks, and I'm just going to ink them up with Memento. Of course you can use any ink. Memento stays on, a color if you want. And I'm going to stamp them a little bit close to the edge so that I can punch them out in a second. So there's one. Hi Fiona. Oh Alison, you're lucky that you have nice sun in France. We had that yesterday. Right, I'm going to put this guy like that. And then I'm going to put this one. Has anybody else gotten these zebras? Or does anybody else buy stamps and then they fall in love with them, buy them, and then don't seem to use them? Because I seem to have a few of those. And I'm going to put him excuse me, I'm going to put him in this corner. Like this. There we go. Just makes my life a little bit easier for stamping. So those are my 3 zebras all stamped out. And then I'm going to pull out, so I'm using the circle punches before they retire. So this is the 2-inch circle punch. And then all I'm going to do is just punch them out so you can kind of see a little bit of their faces or heads, feet. Punch them out. Oh, Alison, I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one that buys things and doesn't use them or forgets about them. Alright, I'm going to punch him out. I don't know whether hims, hers, they. And then get him punched out. There we go. So I've got my 3 little zebras punched out. And then I'm just going to give them a bit of a background. So I'm going to take some scrap Bermuda Bay. So I've got some scrap pieces. And using the 2 1/4 inch punch, I'm just going to cut out a few circles. Oh, Fiona, you're the same as me. Oh, good. I'm glad now. This must be a consensus that a few people buy stuff and forget about it or don't use it. I'm terrible for it. Right, 3 circles. Punched out. And now all I'm going to do is glue these guys onto the little circles. Give them a little bit of glue. Again, this is perfect because you have a little bit of time to give it a wiggle to straighten them up. So I'm just going to put them on. There we go. And of course this works with any images, any punches. So it'd be easy to recreate. Right. So I've got 3 zebras all ready to go. And then I'm just going to do my sentiment. So I'm going to pull out my white cardstock again, and I'm going to do a happy birthday one because I've got a few birthdays coming up. A few unlucky friends that have still another lockdown birthday. So I'm just going to ink this up. And again, just down where there's a gap. There we go. And I'm using the classic label punch. This is another one of those punches that I had to buy, forgot to use, now it's retiring. So, but it works perfectly for this. So I'm just going to center it. There we go. And punch that out. And then I'm also going to punch out, let me see if I can get it out of this, a Bermuda Bay layer for my sentiment, just to give it another little bit of depth and layer. So with the Bermuda Bay, so that it gives you a little bit of a background, I'm going to cut this in half, just like so, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on the back of my white sentiment piece. And then all I'm going to do is just line it up like that, just to give it a little bit of a edge, different color. And of course, because it gives you that wiggle, it takes just a couple seconds just to glue. And then again on the other side. Of course, you don't have to do it this way. You could do 2 full punches of the Bermuda Bay if you wanted and just have it like that. It's all the same. There we go. So I've got my little sentiment. So now all I need to do is put it together. So I'm going to pull out some dimensionals. I've got a new pack. Ooh, very rarely happens. Right. And so on the back of my zebras, I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on each of them. Anybody else grab their dimensionals from the middle? Or am I just some sort of monster? You don't need loads, just a couple on each, just to give it that little bit of pop up and 3D depth. Right, now I'm just gonna line my zebras up. Oh, that was handy picking them up in an order. So I've just picked it so that I have two facing that way and one facing that way. Oh, Alison. Yeah, I had a lot of inspiration loss as well, which is why I haven't really been making much. Plus, it was Easter for a few weeks. But I'm supposed to be getting a new delivery of some new goodies. I did a small pre-order, so that'll be coming soon. Right, so I'm just going to take the backs off these dimensionals. If you don't have nails or you struggle with getting the backs off, you can use something like a pokey tool. So I've got a few different types. So I've got like one of these pens which has like a little pokey tool, or you can use like the Stampin' Up pen, or if you've got like a quilling tool with a poke, anything. All right, get these backs off. And I'm going to stick him down. There we go. And this one. Stick him down. There we go. Right, and then for my sentiment, I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. So we have mini dimensionals, which are way significantly smaller than a normal one. And funny enough, I'm not doing it today, but funny enough, I still find these sometimes too big, so I still cut them in half. I'm surely not the only one that does that. And I'm just going to put a couple on this. Oh, Alison, you have an order coming today. Ooh, what did you get? Any fun, exciting goodies? I don't know when mine is. I don't know if mine's coming today. I think today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Right. So I've put dimensionals on the right-hand side of it so that it will stick to the card base and DSP layer, but I've left it blank here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, because if I popped it up here, then it would be at a bit of a on the wonk. And as much as I love things on the wonk, I've decided that I'll keep it a bit flat. So I'm going to pull off these backings, which are a little bit harder because they're smaller. And then I'm just going to put this, line this up a little bit like that. Kind of looks like he's saying happy birthday. And then I've got my front layer done. So that's the front of the card. That was the hard part. All nice and easy, all glued down. And then for the inside, and I'm really lazy, I actually pre-prep all of my inserts. So I have a whole stack of them usually, all cut, ready to go. So this is the same as the DSP layer. So it's 10 centimeters by 14.3 centimeters. And before I glue it down, I'm going to take one of the sentiments for inside. And this one I'm going to use says, kick up your heels. So I'm just going to ink it up with Memento. Again, you can use anything, black color. And I'm just going to roughly line it up somewhere in the middle-ish. Stamp it down. There we go. Perfect. Do you know, I've had a few people ask me if I'll craft live, and I was always really worried. I tried to do a video once and I messed it up, and I tried to do it again and it messed it up, and then I tried to do it a third time and my phone died. And I decided then, I was like, that's it, not doing it again. But I've had so many people keep messaging me, and so many friends telling me, do it, do it, do it. I said, today, I decided to do it. Hence why I had no announcement that I was doing it. I just decided. Right, so I'm just going to add some Tombow. And then line it up, center it up a bit. And there we go. We've got a little center bit. So we've got my inside, my outside done. Now, if you want to get super, super fancy, let me see if I can pull some out. Well, not fancy, but just to give it a little bit of a touch. If you get your envelope, so just get your envelope that you're going to send it with. And then you can pick any sort of thing. So you could do some stars on the envelope, or you could put another phrase on it if you want. I think I'm going to put a little zebra because their faces are just too cute. And I think I'm going to use him because he's quite cute. Yeah. So I'm going to ink him up. So I'm just going to make sure I've got my envelope the right way around. And I'm just going to stamp him in the corner of the envelope. I'm not really known for decorating envelopes. I kind of forget sometimes. So this is like a bit of a treat that I've decorated him. And there you go. And you've got a cute little card. Didn't take very long at all. A few minutes. And I've gotten an envelope decorated. And then a card that's perfect to go for anybody. Oh, Alison, you're going to have to do a live crafting. This is my first, and it actually isn't so bad. But, yeah. So, of course, there's the card that I originally done a few days ago, and then this is the one I've done today. And you can do it in any color, any DSP, any stamp set, anything. But it was nice and simple. It only takes a few minutes. And Alison, if you do decide to do one, let me know. Although, you know me, I'll always cheer you on. You always make such beautiful projects anyway. But yeah, there's my little card. So let me know what you think. Give it a go. Remember, all these products, it's really sad some of these products are leaving, especially I'm going to miss all my circle punches. They just make it so quick and easy. But yeah, if you want any of these products before they go, let me know. And I'm going to head off, and hopefully, I'm hoping the sun will peer out through the clouds, but I don't think so. So I think it's going to be a day of inside and hopefully crafting. Hopefully my new goodies will arrive today. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you all later. Bye.